What's up, guys? Welcome back. Malik here. So, today we're looking at the QQQ again. So, today is November 21st. I'm still working out getting this changed by the platform, but today is November 21st, first day of the week, and first trade of the week. So, starting off yesterday, I marked up QQQ basically on the daily, and I tried to find some points of like resistance and support. So it's like around here. So even that though it's like kind of close, it still might count as an area of resistance. Like a candle might wick above it or just like towards it. So this is one area. This is one area. I think that's about it. But you'll probably see more on the candles. So let's see the candles. So it has like a resistance here, and then it has a resistance like around here too, like some form of resistance here. Bam, bam, bam. So it's like resistance where the candles like can barely pass through there with strength, right? So you have a candle there, you have like some resistance here, you have like candle right here. So this is like resistance as well, resistance is there. Thing about that is that when it's on the daily and you have that form of resistance, it's like a key thing that you might see some reaction to during the days. So from the daily, if we go down to the 1 hour, you see some respecting of the resistance here. So you got some support there, some support there. You have here as levels of possible resistance here. Come down, come down. It's like resistance here, kinda. It didn't hold up, but it could be like a resistance zone where here is like a level where it just pushed down. So I just want to show you the breakdown of the trade today. So I only did one trade today, right? And let me show you. Let me show you. So it's actually in replay mode now, right? So let's get it fully where we're. So replay mode. Let's get out of replay mode. Okay, so basically, let me show you. Let's zoom it up. So this is November 21st. So this one matches with that, and I entered a sell position. Remember, this is London time, so you -5 from this to get the time that I entered the trade, which would have been 11:13. So we go to 11:13. So this would have been 11. So it would be within this candle. I entered the trade and I use purple for the entries and red for the exits. So purple, I'm gonna use array. So at 11:13 into the 28250, that's directly on this, directly on that point of resistance or support. That's like a key area. So right on it at 250. Come on, don't do that. 28250. Let's get 28250. Yeah. So right on it there. That was the entry for the downside. And then the exit was at 282, 28132. 28132. So it was like somewhere down here. I'm not gonna lie. That was a clean trade. That was the entire candle. That was a clean trade. That was it's not the entire way down. I didn't get from the tippy top, but I got exactly at the bottom, and it was literally a 2-to-1 risk reward. And what I basically did was I have the point of resistance here, right? So we had broken down here, closed below the point of resistance. So my psychology going into this trade was basically, if we came to this point of resistance, we would have came back down, and I just wanted to catch some of the move down. So basically I had my risk at basically, how did I do the risk here? I had my risk basically at around 3/4 this candle, right? So I'm saying if price was to go strong, 3/4 of this candle, that would basically make my trade invalid. If it didn't, then it would probably continue back down, and I probably would have stayed into the trade. Luckily, I got the first candle after was just the right trade down, and it pushed down. So this could have been an engulfing candle, and then this is just a continuation of the bearish pattern, but basically had a 2 to 1 risk reward, right? And basically I had to take profit and the stop loss placed. So as soon as this candle went down, it hit me out immediately for a $57 profit, and then that's just what I left it at for the rest of the day. I just didn't trade anymore for the entire day. That was just the trade, made the money, and I just left it, came out, just just to keep the discipline and just to build the system more than just focusing on trying to scrape a large profit off for every single trade that I make. Let me focus on just building out the system, and that actually worked in this scenario, and we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. If I can just spot a good pattern, just make a good risk to reward trade and trade that exact setup. But that was basically the trade. That was just a $56 profit for the day. I just didn't trade anymore for the day, because as you realize, as it goes with the trades, like the market can go against you. See, it literally went against me in the next candle, and then that would have probably stopped me out here. That could stop it out. See, that's like a little above half of the candle, and that would have hit out somebody if you have like a risk reward that would have tear you up, And then it still came back down, but still not to the point where you probably would have wanted. Even though it would have entered here, probably would have got some profits at this point, but at this point, that would have been your optimal take profit price, right? So let's see how tomorrow plays out from there. What is tomorrow looking like? So we had a big red on, this is today's day, so this is the daily on today, and it actually closed below that key support line on the daily. So it's looking like we might have, let's see what it does tomorrow. It can be a green that comes up and bounce off of this and come down, or we have a continuation down. What is it? It's more looking like let me see. So it's like if this is a new low, we're gonna have a little come up. It should not pass this, or we're gonna have a new low. Because I mean, looking at this, you have a big gap to fill. Like you have a lot of space to work with to the downside here, and we'll just try to capitalize on all of that. But that was basically the trade for today. And then at the end of the day, Zoom had earnings. So Zoom had some bad earnings, as they've always been having bad earnings since the pandemic, right? And on earnings, what did we see? We saw almost no activity. We saw it spike up. I wish probably could show it on like a lower time frame and you see what it was doing. So if you were to replay this, see what was happening, go lower. Okay, so look at this now. So coming into earnings, we had Zoom, huge candle, huh? We had Zoom spike up to what? 86. Spike up to 86, and then it spiked down to around 77.10 or thereabouts. And then the next candle was a huge red candle, just huge sell pressure, and that closed at around $79. So Zoom went from 86 to 79, and then the next candle was a huge more sell pressure, 76, a little up, and this is all after hours. So if you have an after hours play and it's not to the downside, you probably got wrecked, which is just the risk of playing earnings. But Zoom had a huge volatility spike at the end of the day because they had bad earnings. I mean, that's something that constantly plays out. And then another thing to watch is Bitcoin. So, and I don't like this one. I like the BTC USD Coinbase. That one just seems wrong. The Bitstamp one, something about it is off. But Bitcoin is basically at 15,785 right now. And then a catalyst for this is something about the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So there's GBTC. So Grayscale Bitcoin Trust basically invest in Bitcoin, and they try to give institutional investors exposure to the Bitcoin market. So Grayscale Bitcoin Trust has some exposure to the whole FTX debacle. So everything that went down with FTX, there's some allies to GBTC that has exposure to FTX. So they have to be selling whatever product they have to, I mean, recover from their losses. And Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, it holds Bitcoin. So if the investors are trying to cash out on their product or cash out on GBTC historically has been trading at a discount. So what they should do to get it to the right net asset value where people can sell at not a loss is that they're gonna sell their holdings of Bitcoin to buy GBTC, and then that should get them up to like the right holdings, right? But that's mainly what happened today. I mean, I'm hearing from analysts that Thanksgiving is usually the slowest time in the stock market, so we shouldn't see a lot of movement. We can see some small movement, and then we can just trade from there. Just trade like a one candle or a two candle and try to get the movement. If you don't get the movement, I mean, don't chase it. It just doesn't look like it's something that we should chase at all. Just get a right risk to reward, get your system right, and then let's go from there. But otherwise, from that, thank you if you've been watching. I've seen a spike in like some videos. I'm not sure why, because I'm just really documenting what we're doing and talking. But otherwise, I'm really grateful for it, and I hope to see the channel grow while I offer the video and the media, and offer some level of consistency and transparency, because you're seeing the platform. If you want to use the platform that I use, it's down in the description below in the link tree. And that's basically it. Thank you. And I hope to offer you just an honest channel, Thank you, and see you in the next one.